I just got in from karaoke. It's only like 12, a little about 12 or 1 or something like that. I only had a couple drinks too. I know how to handle myself. I've changed a lot in a year. I really have. I stopped drinking during the day. And, you know, I still have this, you know, I've only been drinking for about 5 or 6 years. You know, I drank when I was in the Navy. But when I got out of the Navy in my first year here in Key West, something would happen to me. Of course, I was a young guy. I was only just past 19 or 20 years old, you know, or 22, 23, something like that. It's not all the time that I pass and review, right? But I can share with you that, you know, my first taste of alcohol was when I was about 12 or 13. And it was my neighbor next door who had promised his wife, girlfriend at that time, that he would stop drinking. And so what he would do is he would hide his beer. He drank Miller Lite. He would hide it in the garbage, on the top of the garbage cans and stuff like that. He'd hide it outside in the garbage. And I was the guy that took out their garbage. So I'd find their booze. So me and a bunch of friends drank at one time, and we got so fucked up, you know. We were lighting firecrackers off underneath my father's 1.5-ton truck. He was a roofer. My dad was a roofer at that time, and we didn't have matches or anything, but we found a little, you know, a tin can, number 10 tin can, and we filled it full of stuff, and we lit it full of fire, and we stuck it underneath my father's truck. All right, I can visualize this now. It was right underneath this gas tank. And that's what we were pushing. We were taking these black cats and lady fingers, and we were so fucked up. We pushed each other into the yucca plant. There was this yucca plant, you know, that was growing beside the front door. We'd been doing it for years and years and years, and all us kids would, like, every now and then push us into each other, and ow, goddamn, you know what those yucca plants are. Well, we took out a machete, and me and my friend, well, in our drunken little blaze at 12 or 13 years old, we took the machetes and we hatcheted them motherfuckers. After all those years of being there, you know, just one afternoon, a bunch of stupid little teenagers, and it was gone, you know, just gone like that. But anyways, that's a fun little story. It was my first bit of being drunk and all. There were a couple of more stories in between there, but excuse me. But I'm hardly the drinker. I'm on the other side. I didn't drink in high school. I didn't do all that. That was that one time in 13. That was before high school. So, you know, I kept my nose clean, and I really wasn't more of those drinkers or something like that. But I used to spend some money when a bunch of us got together at nighttime. A bunch of us guys would get together, and we'd go and put our money into the cigarette machine. We'd smoke 3 or 4 cigarettes at one time, sticking out a little mouth. You know, like, oh, wow, this is cool. You know, 4 or 5 cigarettes out of our mouths, you know. I didn't see that again until, you know, until the 80s or something like that. Later on in the 80s at AbFab, you know, and that one of the ladies was just smoking a mess of cigarettes all at one time. It was just funny. But anyways, you know, you might catch a little buzz on, but, you know, I'm just having a little fun. What came across my mind while I was out having fun with my friends was, how would I go about, you know, rebuking a particular, you know, religion itself? How would I go about saying something like, I would like to challenge the interpretation of this scripture? You know, like, you know, okay. Yeah, it's the gay scripture. The word about mankind, you know, I've used that word so many times while trying to define what the Bible is telling us. Excuse me. Pardon me. But anyways, mankind is this thing that you can't be saved by. You can't be saved on the outside. There's nothing on the outside that's going to do you any good. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, you know. This well that we're looking for inside, the well is something that, you know, just the symbolism in the Bible is meant to be kind of everlasting, you know, that you might be able to pull this out of the gutters of your mind and understand You know, like the idea of a donkey, you know, being stubborn. The animal instinct in us of not wanting to change, you know, stuff like that. Girding your waist, and, you know, or girding your loins. You know, what does that mean? You know, it means to, you know, kind of hold on to something. Don't let something go. You know, tighten up. You know, there's a whole lot of ideas where, you know, even just the idea that they say, lend me an ear, for someone to hear this thing, you would see that you got to run. Most of these stories, you know, start off with, they're running through a desert. They're coming through a desert. Something has happened. Something happened. There's a conflict, and then they're off and running, you know. And there's a goal to get away from something, you know. You know, and I've done the stories where it's like, you know, you were already there, but you've given it up, and you've fallen off, and the pitfalls that happen from that. So, you know, it shows it's a two-way street, you know. But I say, you know, do I have to do like another 2 or 3 years worth of pulling every little string and fiber out of this Bible and showing how it keeps talking about how to go inside? You know, I can show you that. I would like to rebuke. I would like to say that there should be some kind of a class action lawsuit or something that allows us to have some kind of platform to actually, you know, dissect, or at least bring up the idea that there could be another way of reading the Bible. And, you know, I would tell you that if the place is rigged for us not to know anything about this, then you'll never get there. You know, it's like these people, there's like 2,000 joined together scientists that are coming together to fight against global warming, you know. They're getting hardly any platform. There's none. They have to go to alternative media, and then, you know, they're being made fun of. These guys are weird, this and that. You know, we've got, you know, what, there's no, this is why, you know, right now, where we exist right now with this internet access, you can learn almost anything and everything that you would like to actually learn, even if you're, you know, stupid or this, that, anything that you want to know, you know, anything, you know, even that donkey thing, you know, where women are getting fucked by donkeys. You can find anything you want right now, but don't think that that's going to be around forever, because that's under siege right now. You guys are just learning too much. You guys, there's just, whoa, way too much going down, you know. And, you know, whereas a lot of people are being hit by, you know, there's this ad, something another, where no one's getting paid anymore. They pulled their ads out of YouTube. People can't make money like they used to. Everyone's going into this PayPal situation. You know, I cuss in my things. I be myself. I'm not family friendly. I don't give a damn. You know, I don't care. I work for myself. I'm about to, you know, I don't care. It's me. It's me. I get to say what I want. But, you know, I'm the one telling the truth. You know, hey, oh yeah, everyone's... No, not everybody's telling the truth. That's a design. They designed it that way. There really aren't. There's hardly anybody. There's a lot of guessing going on. But I'll tell you that I'm going to keep going on and showing you there's only one way. It's not my opinion that goes on what's going on in that fucking Bible of ours. It's not. It's science. And there's a formula, and there's that. I'm showing you this. But no, it's not my opinion. But it's not my opinion. It is real life. If you were to have something in front of you and you had apples and whatever, and 2 + 2 = 4, there it is, it's right in front of you, you're going to say no, you know. I have proven already that the whole thing is wrapped around a story that brings no life to any particular character whatsoever, you know. And if this is a constructed thing to keep us busy as a control device, I would tell you that it was preconceived years, 1,000 years ago. You know, the idea of living here and trying to get it now, listen, you know, there's this, we got time. Look at all the past. Look at all the empty spaces in between, all of those torn up worlds in our past. We're about to be the next one, okay? When you start to learn a little bit too much, when you got too much, you know, they needed all this to learn. We are being actually bled dry of our minds and our money and our talents by something, whatever it is. Regardless, the soul said, I'll do it. I'll do it for the experience alone. You know, we came here with luggage. We're going to go out of here, hopefully, with none. If you can go in and clean up, you go out of here with none, and you have this wonderful next few lives or something like that, you know. But if you don't learn how to clean the inside, then you carry that with you to the next one. And if you don't learn, then you carry that next you to the next one. In time. You're waiting for your second coming for a long time. If you believe in the Bible, it's going to keep you going on. Listen, they'll reset this world and they'll set the whole goddamn thing up again, and they'll say, hey, you know, remember, we have to start off by forcing these motherfuckers to believe it. This is going to be what we call the Stockholm Syndrome. You know, when someone is, you know, has been captive so long that they actually depend on their captive. And they believe in everything, and they'll hold on to the guns, and they'll kill anybody and everybody and everything that tries to change the way it goes. I would like to rebuke all of that. I would like to say that religion has been wrong all the time. I would like to be able to stick my thumb up to the... Is that my thumb? That's not my thumb. But anyways, fuck you. Who told you? Who gave you the right to rule over me? Who did? Where does it say that in the Bible? Where does it say that in the Bible? Who are you to tell me that I am abomination? Who are you to tell me that God doesn't love me? Who in the fuck are you to say that the world has to live under your fucking command and blame it all on God and live off the top of the Bible, the fake side of life? Fuck you. I would like to say fuck you, you know? Who says that I have to live off the top of the Bible? I found the truth. I found a smarter person. I found a smarter God. I found something more intelligent than the outside of the Bible. And I also found a Bible telling me, hey, Ricky, you're on the right track. It's about goddamn time. I've been waiting for you to wake up. You know? And hey, will you try to help wake up other people? You know? You know? You've already lived your life. Give it up. Fuck it. That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm doing. Fuck you. And I would like to rebuke everyone. I'd like to say anyone to do with your religious world, you know, it's a shame. You love God so much, you just are walking and looking in the wrong direction. Too bad. Way too bad. Enjoy your poverty. Alright? I show you just how easy it is, how close this Lord is. How close Jesus is. I show you the simple procedures of how things have been brought together and how each one of those stories all keep saying the same thing. The most important part is to learn how to view something from the spiritual side, what is inside, something that you can't see. Oh, is that hard? No, it's written right in front of us, hidden in front of us all these years. It's the idiot that can't go any further. It's the shallow mind that refuses to go any further than just the surface. Yeah? And to hell with you. To hell with you for not asking. I know for years and years, oh, you're going to get killed, you're going to get killed, you're going to be killed. Who is holding a goddamn knife to your throat now? Who's making you believe this crap? Who is? Who is making you believe it? Is this your... I've been doing this for so years. Is it so many years? Is that what it is? It's become some kind of what they call tradition, you know? Well, in the story about Abraham, wake up. It's time to leave your father's house. His father was out there, oh yeah, he was a pagan and worshipped all these gods, and he tore up all these gods, and he said, get up and leave your father's house. You're supposed to leave your traditions, you're supposed to leave everything, you're supposed to change. Those things are what's hold you down. Alright? Abraham is you. Wake up. Wake up. Stop following these traditions. They're traditions that made the power of God of no fucking use. Alright. Google that. Alright. I might be kind of loud for like 1 in the morning, so I have to be kind of quiet. I have to... Shh. I think I'm going to become a preacher. But I don't want to be a preacher, I want to be a teacher. But, you know, I'd really love to know how to challenge that scripture that says man laying with mankind is an abomination. I agree with it being an abomination, but I don't agree that it is the homosexual text from which all the hate towards a natural human being comes from. Alright, I would love to see that overturned by the clergy, you know? That would be really cool. Alright. Otherwise, you know, it's like a campaign of some kind to try to like, they'll say, oh, it's some kind of one of them queer, you know, agendas. You know, well, yeah. Wouldn't a lot of people like to know that was wrong, or that they were wrong, that there is really no reason to hate a particular group of people, you know, and that the reason why everything looks a little crazy with those fags right now and us queers is that 2,000 years of being like pent up and being called, you know, the scourge of earth, and we still have a question mark, giant question mark over us, like, you know, like moving kind of quiet and looking behind you, wondering what's going on. Listen, because I don't fall for that. I never have. They came out and painted a red, orange, green, you know, rainbow crosswalk downtown, where in the middle of where the gay places are, you know. I said, that's awful. You're marking a place. I mean, you're right there in the same place. There's this big sign that says the Bahama Village. So this is where the black people are. This is where the queer people are. You know, and whenever I was trying to mention this, like that's stupid, you know, and that's really very low conscious. And they're looking at me like, you know, what's wrong with you? You know, yeah, what's wrong with white bunch of, you know, like getting married. What do I care about getting married? What do I care? Why do I want to be like these straight people? What do I care? Well, I understand that when people get married and they have trouble and something happens in their lives and they die and they're worth millions, and then a family comes in after hating them all these years, you know, and says, you know, that's my son, and take everything from this, you know, this guy who's been with them for, you know, the last 40 years. Yeah, I understand that. How about, you know, some guys, you know, have been together for 30, 40 years, you know, and he's in the hospital and he's dying, he's in the, you know, he's got some kind of like, you know, what is that, emergency something or another, and he's in like that CP, whatever, you know, and only family members are allowed in. So here he is on his last days of his life, last hours or moments, and his family kicks his lover out, you know, and then takes all his belongings and fuck you know, come on. You know, at least now they got some kind of this and that, but I don't give a damn. I don't care to get married. I don't believe in that shit. I never did, you know. I did, yes, I did, but you know, I'm way past that now. Something happened. I've been hardened. I got a hardened heart. Like Israel, I got a hardened heart. I put a barrier between me and love, you know. Oh, well, I haven't. It's really like a pair of underwears. Alright, so I'm not going to talk like that. don't even know what I want to talk about anymore. I'm going to get out of here. It's like 20 freaking minutes. I don't even know if I'm going to sit up here and try to set this alive, set this afire. But I'm telling you, this whole damn thing, religion, as I start to wake up from this idea, is hell. This is the enemy. That's the driver of society. They conspired together in our book. I want you to kind of read between the lines. You don't even have to read between the lines. Jesus, this entity, if he were real, he did upset the status quo. He did tell people that there was a way to break away from this. There's a way to regain yourself, and then whatever they say and what they do has no effect on you at all. If that message were to really resonate and get out there, then you would have a whole lot of high-minded individuals out there. You really would. And that's not what beta conscious is about. That's not what this lower level of consciousness is about. It wants mayhem, it wants chaos, it wants you to love, it wants all your emotions to come alive, it wants to test every nook and cranny of your body, it wants everything to be exposed. That's Earth. That's the sin, the sign, beta conscious, beta frequency. That's what we are born into. Can't help it. Everything that we absolutely love is found here. Everything. Everything we absolutely hate is actually found here too. So, this is our hell. Where you are in hell, like the richer you are, having substance and material wealth, you don't feel hell so much, but those underneath you do. The lower you get down on the ground there, it's hell. And even within heaven, there is or within hell, there is a higher side, This really is. Because they never fail. That's why this Jesus, this stories, doesn't come to rich people. It really doesn't. It requires every now and then a rich person, like from Arimathea, to come in, home few his own, give him his own place to bury him and stuff like that, So everything is, high-minded. Very few rich people in the Bible have made it any place else. They all have to give it all up. Give everything up. All of it. All of it. Everything. Even Nicodemus, he didn't have anything. His riches were, he was carrying Bibles and books of Moses and, the stamp on your head or something like that, of bottles of oil that you do everything with, and la-di-da, maybe some candlesticks and stuff like that. And Jesus looks at him and says, he says, surely now I'm worthy to go up into the heaven with all of this religious stuff that I have. Jesus says, you see, he only tells the religious that they have to be reborn. He said, none of that shit of yours is worth. You're going to have to just die. You're going to have to come back. You have to be reborn. Nicodemus says, what do you mean? How am I going to climb back into my mama's womb? And Jesus is saying, God damn. You're one dumbass motherfucker. Surely you have to be born of water, and you have to be, born of fire, and la-da-da, What does that mean? That means you have to go inside and cut everything off. That's all it means. But religious people don't do that. Rich people don't do that. No. And I'll tell you that if any of those guys ever did discover their single eye, and ever did go inside and killed that devil inside of their body, well, they no longer really could take people's money and be a preacher, you know, without taking on a kind of an evil instinct, because you'd be taking advantage of people at that time. You know, if you're an ignorant motherfucker and you're still following the outside, you know, hey, you're cool. You know, you're cool. You're just, you know, just an ignorant bastard. You know, I don't know. You know, shit. Yeah. Anyways, best to you guys. I had a great day. I enjoyed being a part of reading and preparing. I really like this. I love the idea of doing homework and sharing it with you. I've never done that. A lot of my knowledge has been from me hearing stuff, and now a lot of my knowledge is from me looking it up. And from time to time, even more recently, I can't help but hear it. I can't help but see it. And so it's easier for me to bring it to you, you know. So, you know, it's just really cool. And I have all this extra time. And it feels like, you know, we don't have a whole lot of time. I don't know what our tipping point is. But even like for me to be able to come out and start, you know, ripping into the world of truth, you know, even if I only have 5 or 10 people, this is a crack in the matrix. This is a crack in the world. Something is getting through this light, because there's at least 10 of you. That's 10 more people of light that's never been there before. 10 of them, dude. Don't you understand? That's more than there was before. If you're following this, we can affect the change. This could be that idea that Jesus says, you know, well, I'm glad I came before it was all over with. They almost got everybody, you know. And, you know, and that's what I'm hoping to help, you know, save a few people, you know. I don't know what we're saving each other for. But you know, the scripture points to, you know, some kind of riches, you know. And that riches is not having to do with money. It has to do with smarts. It has to do with wisdom. Maybe with love, too, because it takes the hate away from you. So, you know, I worked with the retarded citizens for a long time. You know why I say retarded? Because we used to say retarded. It wasn't a negative term back then. You know? And I still work with my friends. I love them. I learned so much new love. I used to be in the cemetery with these guys weed whacking, and I used to think that the cemetery, ooh, what a scary place to live. That's my safe zone. This place of death, you know. And my love for the Mark House and the people and the men, whether, oh my God, I learned so much. I love it. I love it. Those mothers and fathers, some of them you could tell they didn't, you know, their family, their kids were a little, you know, a burden to them. What a wonderful exposure to different people and different forms of life and minds. How beautiful. I ain't gonna cry. But what a wonderful experience, and I just keep having the best of time. I really do. And now it's even getting better and better and better as I'm beginning to shirk away from mankind and take that out of my mind, you know. That's more like a, ooh, let's watch and see what goes on next. What's going to happen next? Anyways, it's almost like 30 minutes. I apologize for taking this time. Let's see if it makes it on. See if I ever make it even on here. Alright. It's the God honest truth, what I'm telling you. I am wanting so much to change the world. Tell them the truth. I don't think they want it. But anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself, and have a nice evening.